10 years before, IT was completely different. Now it is completely different. 10 years before, when I was doing SharePoint, when I joined to a company, I would have some lead time of 1 month to understand and then do certain stuff in SharePoint. Now, if you join to a company, what they are expecting is that, okay, tomorrow, do it. That's it. If you don't know, meaning that you cheated, you joined something like, no, it's like, I don't know these areas. Power platform expert, how do you know it's like very difficult. So this time you'll have to be really up to date and then you have to have a hands-on as well. So to have a hands-on, the other one choice is that what we do or the MEP does is that there is a M365 developer center where you can sign up for a developer account and it is completely free. They give you E5 license, M365 E5 license. When you subscribe, you'll have to put your real mobile number. That is the only one. They don't ask credit card. You'll have to add your real mobile number because the OTP is sent in that. So once you get that E5 license, it comes with 12 users, I guess. So you can create 12 users and it comes with all the office license and everything. One catch is that this developer license, once you create, it will be active for 3 months only. So depends on how active you are. Okay, depends on how active you are. For example, you are very active in that 3 months, start developing solution, deploying something. So you're keeping your tenant active. You can request Microsoft to upgrade. So they keep extending it every 3 months. Okay, to us, I've been using almost 4 or 5 years now. So they keep updating because I'm doing something. You make it active. That's it. So it's for 3 months. It's not only for Power Platform, it is for all. So you get the M365 full license. I don't know whether the Power BI Pro is included. I don't know about that. Probably the Power BI should be in a different one. The developer license. Pro is not that, right? Pro will not come. Yeah. They always give the free of the Power Platform. So you can try it out. Certain features you cannot try, especially the one linked to the Dynamics. So for Dynamics, it's a bit difficult. So if you are just learning the Power Platform, Dataverse, and Power Automate, Power Apps, this is the best option you would have. You will be given a tenant. Yeah.
Actually, I want to, sorry for interruption. I'm from Dynamics actually. I'm from Dynamics background. So I will not say it's difficult, but Power Platform is sitting in between. Basically, Dynamics, it's all about business process, sales, service, marketing, field service, other things coming, right? Finance and operation. So Power Platform is like simple to capture, easy to understand. But you can go to Dynamics, but it requires first to understand Power Platform because Dynamics also sitting on top of Power Platform. Okay. So just to add one point with his point. So it's not difficult. As you want to encourage, you want to embark on certain journey, definitely you can do, no issues. But you should know what is the step-by-step process. Or else people get confused actually. Hey, what is this all about business and all other things? I'm a technical guy. I'm not able to understand anything. So this is where the humanity is all.
Yeah. So that's about how you excel from basic to the expert. Okay. So these are the procedure. Any questions? I have 5 minutes.
Just to add one more thing to Santhan's point, few organizations, if you have Microsoft corporate support, there is a Microsoft ESI portal, and which is yeah, so which provides basically it is all training provided by Microsoft people, and it's free of cost if you have Microsoft ESI. You can check in your organization, because even I don't know myself in when I was working in a bank, so means I don't know that we have access that, but later on I realized that ESI we have already the access, and it's very useful training because from my person you will get like you are signing for 5-day training or 1 month training, so there are blended programs and there is a virtual mode. So virtual is like 3 to 4 days, it will be full day training, and blended program is one of the best. It will be like 2 times in a day for the whole month, and which is very useful for certification perspective. So you can check the if you have access for the PSI portal.
Yeah, along with that, I want to add one more point. You can see I presented one screen, Power Up. Power Up program, it's a Microsoft's own program actually. Those who are, let's say, have done any break in between the career or really want to switch the career, they can onboard this Power Up program. It is an intensive program of 6 months on Power Platform. Actually, it's a purely guided program. I think this will be really helpful. But it is on registration basis. You have to register. Microsoft has to onboard you. It's a 6 month, I think 6 months of program. This one. Yep. So this is also one of the source you can learn Power Platform. You can see whoever have already got the benefit out of that. So you can see there is one option apply now. You can apply here and which geolocation you want to apply, and subsequently Microsoft will get back to you if they onboarded you for this program. Okay. I think that's all.
I'll just share the ESI link. Yeah, so basically this is a Microsoft ESI Enterprise Skills Initiative. So you can check in your organization by signing up if you have access to this. That's a really good resource for learning because it provides you the hands-on and full day training by Microsoft.
This is corporate. If you have
Corporate.
partnership, Microsoft Access, Partner Portal Access, you will get this ESI. But that one is open for everyone, which what I present. Okay.
So about the yes, the partnership, you need the approval from your management to.
No, I didn't know. I think you just check with your.
Already by default.
You can try to log in with your ID, official ID. And if you're able to log in, I think with the Active Directory, it's good.
Okay, in that note, maybe
Any
any
questions?
other questions? If no questions, we will introduce our next speaker. Yeah, sure.
Can you explain about Copilot? So for instance, Power Automate has its own Copilot. I saw the because
Yeah.
I guess the question is around the training. I mean, it's very powerful tool. It's almost like just using language and then they recommend the thing.
Yeah.
Training wise, do we go to the YouTube channel you share this channel?
Okay.
What's the best way to do this?
Yeah, so Copilot also has their learnings. If you have those links, actually there are certain learning paths where there also how to learn Copilots. As he suggested, Microsoft Learn is the best source. You can get in Microsoft Learn actually how to start Copilot learning. Even there are step-by-step process. Who is the marketing manager from Microsoft? If I remember correctly, he posted the steps actually. How to any early journer can learn step by step. I will keep share, or if you have that link handy, we can.
I don't have it. But
Okay.
basically, Copilot, if you take, Copilot is a brand name for Microsoft. So meaning that Windows have a Copilot, Bing has a Copilot, Power Platform has a Copilot, Azure has Copilot, GitHub has a Copilot. So it's a brand name they're trying to establish across all the Microsoft platform. If you are specific on Power Platform Copilot, then basically you'll have to break down in such a way that you would learn more of a AI than general Copilot. Like for example, me as a kind of administrator, what I can do in Copilot, me as a developer, what I can do in Copilot, me as a kind of overall top management, what is that I expected from Copilot. So there are three categories. If you are a developer, you want to do something on the Copilot, you can write an extension for Copilot. Like for example, if you now go to Bing Copilot, there are several extensions already came in. Like for example, there is a journey planner. So similarly, in your organization, what you can do is you can create your own Copilot extension and then plug it into the main Copilot. So what it does is it gives you more and more benefit on top of it. So Copilot extension is there for developer. Second, if you're an administrator who wants to do just by clicking in, then in that case, my suggestion would be you learn more about Azure OpenAI rather than just a Copilot. Why? Because uh, at the end, if you take any Copilot, at the end is Azure OpenAI because everything is channeled through Azure AD. And then Microsoft has really created a platform, which is the base platform, which is Azure. That's it. So every Copilot is going through that Azure. So my suggestion is that go towards the base, which is Azure OpenAI. There they have several models already trained in, and they have a question and answer models. So you go through there, there is a OpenAI Studio. Okay, just go there, play around OpenAI Studio, you are good to go. Then it applies the same logic to Copilot. So meaning that you are not just learning Power Platform Copilot. Instead, you are like master of all the Copilot.
Yeah, maybe I want to add one more point. So how he's deriving from a technical guy to understand how Copilot came from. But as an end user, they cannot go for Azure OpenAI, for example. So Microsoft has given one layer, which is Copilot is there. So Copilot is across the platform. You can get Copilot Windows, Copilot in Microsoft 365, Copilot in business applications, Copilot in developer ecosystem, Copilot and everywhere. So Copilot is nothing but, as he rightly mentioned, it uses, you can see I presented one screen. It uses OpenAI service, that's for sure. But along with that, it is using its own algorithm, and along with that, it is giving you a platform actually how end users can play with without touching to Azure OpenAI services. Okay, so this is where it's additional, I will say, AI always has additional concept which is called response. Is that I cannot recollect that specific word. What is that? AI has, every AI should have that capability, right?
Don't remember that.
Okay, so that one is like responsibleness, means I cannot do anything. If AI means you should have some responsibleness that where what should do, what should not do. So to add that layer, let's say if I post some content, that content is really should be provided to end user or not, should be coming to the public or not. In that note, that content filtration, right? That already taken care in this. Okay. Along with that, not only that content filtration, along with that, it also taken care of those kind of any additional layer. Some organization they want to put certain layers. You cannot access this data, you should access this data, and whatever filter criteria you want to define. That also you can define actually here. So it is giving with Azure OpenAI services with some additional capability. That's why Copilot is like your go-to platform to use. Okay, but if you are tech savvy enough to build your own Copilot, I believe, I think no need, as per my understanding in government ecosystem, and government of Singapore already invested on that to building something, right? So that they are using actually that level of understanding. I believe you don't need to understand that level of thing, rather you simply just subscribe, use and get the benefit. Okay, that's one thing. And if you can see, it has like grounding, it has prompts, and it is accessing across the ecosystem. If you see, it is using the same large language model with response and app and other informations, and data can be pulled from any sources. Okay, it's doing pre and post processing. And to answer another question you asked, actually, how to start, you see, same Microsoft Learn has the concept, how to get started with Copilot for Microsoft 365. So similarly, you will get from Microsoft Learn, you can get how to start Copilot from other sources also. So just you go to Microsoft Learn, search, you will get this learning path. This is the path I highlighted. Okay, get started with Microsoft 365 Copilot. Okay, yep, welcome.
Anything else?
Anything else? No. Okay, we are good to start, and thanks. Yeah, welcome. Let me welcome our next speakers. Let's see what is this topic. One sec. Yeah, you come over here. So yeah, we will discuss about Power BI in Power Apps. So I will hand over to Pawan. He will take us through the how to use the Power BI and Power Apps. Yep. Sorry. You can present here, talking that. Okay.
Okay. So how to share my screen? Okay. Sharing my screen.
Yeah, you join in the Teams, right?
Oh, okay, okay.
You have to join the Teams first. Join the Teams
There.
and share.
There, here. Okay.
Sorry guys who are online, actually Pawan is just presenting. Give us 1 minute. He's joining, I think he has not joined Teams. You have my invitation, right? Your calendar. Your calendar. Yep. And- Okay. Over to Pawan.
Hi everyone. Are you able to hear me now? Those who are in online, join online.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for joining in the Power Platform Bootcamp. So today in this session, I'll be sharing my experiences and working with Power BI along with Power Apps and how the integration will work and how you'll learn a bit of Power BI basics so that you'll be more comfortable in the next while going through the demo. So let's get started. So this is a bit of my experience. I'm a Power Platform consultant currently working in Totally Based Solutions. So these are my blog and Twitter and LinkedIn handles. You can reach out to me. Okay, so first of all, if you want to work on any Power BI report or any kind of requirement which is integrated, which is working with Power BI, so you need to have some basic prerequisites. So first of all, you will develop all the reports in Power BI desktop, which is an Windows app. So you need to have that installed in your machine to work on Power BI reports. Okay, so first you need to have a basic understanding about that so that you'll be more comfortable while actually working on the report. Then you need a license. Once you have developed the report, then you need to host that report somewhere. Maybe you need to host that report online. So you need to have a Power BI service where you are hosting that report. Okay, so once you are able to host the report, then the report is everything working. So in order to first of all develop everything and all, you need to have a basic data analysis skill. Okay, data analysis and data modeling skill. I'll share more details in my next slides. And along with that, you need to have a small business understanding on what problem you're trying to solve from your report, what kind of visualization you are trying to build. So that will help the end user. So mostly the Power BI reports will be used by higher management or the people who are in the managerial level so that they will have a quick overview of your report and they can understand the actual problem and the root cause from your report itself. So you don't need to give much details about that, but you need to have a business understanding of what use case you are going to solve. Okay, so those are the prerequisites you need to have before you get started on working on Power BI. Okay. So in the Power BI architecture, it actually contains two, as I just told you. So it contains Power BI desktop and it contains, I'll yes. So we need to have Power BI desktop installed. And once we have developed the report and we are connected to our data source from where our data is there, then we need to publish that report to a Power BI service. So this is the Power BI service. So, so there can be some gateways installed. Suppose if your data is on premise, so you need to have some gateway. So once you have the gateway, then you can publish to app Power BI service. So we also have Power BI mobile, so which will be integrated with the Power BI service. Okay. So in this session, I'll be talking about if you see the components at the below. So in this session, I'll be concentrating about these three parts, which is the Power BI report and how you create dashboards out of it, and the semantic model. That means the model from which your actual data model is. Okay. So first thing you need to install the Power BI desktop. Okay. So there are two ways to install Power BI desktop. Either you can download it from internet. It is an downloadable extension .exe file, or you can download from app source. So in Microsoft App Source, you can download that Power BI file, Power BI app. Okay. So these are two ways. Next, once you have downloaded your app, then you need to get started, and you need to pull the data from your data source. Okay. After getting the data source, then you need to clean the data. Like the data can be coming from different sources, so the data may not be cleaned for your actual visualization. So you need to clean the data. That means you need to perform some ETL transformations. Like you need to once the data is extracted, you need to perform some kind of transformations. Like if the data is not clean, like if it is containing null values or it contains some very odd information, so you need to extract, you need to avoid them, and you need to pull our actual required information. So that is kind of cleaning data. Once that is done, you need to model your data. Like you need to create some relationships, like based on your actual business case, you need to create the respect relationship between the different tables, whatever you have pulled from your data source. Okay. So next you need to create once you model the data, then you need to actually create the visualization from that model which you have built. Okay. Then once your visualization is like, it is very easy part. The main thing is you cleaning the data and modeling the data is very tricky part, and you need to be a bit more careful, because visualization, it is up to you. It can be very easy, or it can be some, if you want, it will be very complex based on your model. Okay. So next thing is you need to publish your report to Power BI service. So that is just a one-click publish. So you don't need to worry much about that. And next that you need to share the report. Once the report has been hosted online, like in the Power BI service, suppose if you want to give access to an end user, like a different person, then you need to share the report with them. Okay. And you can create a dashboard from the report by just pinning the visual. Like you have a report published, then you need to pin that report to a dashboard, so that dashboard is nothing but a snapshot of report. The report can have multiple filters. So in that, if you take a snapshot, it'll take the the filters will not be applied, but you will get a snapshot of the data. So that is the dashboard. It is just by pinning the visual on that screen. Okay. Next thing here we see. So this is how your Power BI desktop will actually look like. Before I get into demo, I'll first give you some basics. Okay, so you'll click on get data, and from where you can actually connect to different sources of data, which you have 120 plus connectors, and for the data sources available. So you can connect in easy manner, and you need to provide your authentication to connect your data source, so that it will be more secure. Okay. So once you connected your data source and provide your actual connection string and your username and password, so then the Power BI will ask for two kinds of two kinds of connections are possible. Okay. So it will ask whether you want to import the data or you want to perform a direct query. So importing data is nothing but actually the Power BI will actually import the data into its local memory. So from the data source, all the data will be imported into Power BI memory. Okay, so it's a local copy of data and local copy and snapshot of data. So it will be so when you are actually working on the with the imported model, it is very fast because the data is in a local machine. In your local machine, direct query is there. Direct query will actually directly query the data from the data source. Okay, so always the data will be up to date because you are actually pulling the data for every small thing. You are actually pulling the data from the data source. Okay, that is direct query. So direct query is best for the real-time analytics. If you want to get some very real-time analytics, then direct query is preferred. Okay, because import model, we need to set refresh frequency. Like once we have imported everything into our local memory, okay, so the data is till date, it is latest until from the time when it is imported in the memory. But later, after 5 hours, if you want to have the latest data, then you need to run a refresh for the Power BI imported model. Okay, so that new data will come in when you refresh the data. Okay, and also for the import mode, it actually uses in the backend, it actually uses Vertipack engine. So because of the Vertipack storage engine, it provides faster performance, and because of for every operation, it actually considers as one single SQL statement. Okay, that is called query folding. Query folding is for every ETL operation or transformation which you are performing, it hits your database one time, like it's a one SQL query. So you should always make sure that the query folding is actually being done by the performance, so that you don't have face any performance issues even with large data sets. Okay. However, there are also there are cases where you want to combine these two end of modes. We can combine in a single report. You can combine these two modes. Like some tables you can pull from import mode, and some tables you can use direct query also. It is also possible. So in that case, that is called a dual mode. Okay. So there is also a live connection where for the existing model which you already published to Power BI service, you don't need to get the data again. With the existing model also, you can develop a new report. Okay, so that comes under live connection. Okay. So next thing we'll see in the data modeling. So once your data is loaded and your ETL transformations are performed actually by Power Query. Okay. So wherein you will perform actual transformations, and whether if you want to create a relationship between tables, you can do it in the Power Query itself. Here we have modeling tab, we have data tab, so we can perform the respect to operation accordingly. Okay, then once we have created the relationship, and we also always should keep in mind, in order to achieve the best performance, you need to achieve the star schema. Okay, star schema is where we have one central fact table, and we have the dimension tables in relationship with the fact table. Okay. Along with that, in the data modeling, we need to be a bit more careful about how we create the measure, how you create the calculated columns and calculated tables. Okay. So this is all just understand. I just want to show that. So while creating the relationship, and if you want to manage the relationship, the cardinality is very important role. Cardinality is nothing but the relationship. Like if you want to have an one-to-one, one-to-one, one-to-many, or many-to-many, so that defines the cardinality of the relationship which you have created. Okay, so this is how the star schema actually looks like. So you have one central fact table. Okay, and you have the joining dimension tables. Okay. So the dimension table is containing the filtering and grouping conditions, while the fact table will have the summarization columns. Okay. So if you have the star schema and you have designed the model in such a way that you have the star schema, so you have a central fact table and surrounding everything, all these things are the this is the central is the fact table and surroundings are the dimension table. So if you perform an star schema kind of modeling, so you will achieve the normalization. That means you don't need to put all the data in one table. Like you have a product key in this column. So you don't need to have categories, color, and all these things combined. Because this adds redundancy because the same data can be duplicated multiple times. So in order to, you should avoid that, because in order to reduce the size of your data model, you should always ensure that the optimal model design is done. Okay, so for that, we need to make sure that normalization is being done. So normalization can be achieved with the help of star schema. So that's how the star schema is very important while you design the data model. Okay. So this is how you should your optimal design should look like. So the central sales table is a actual fact table, and the surrounding tables which are in relationship with the sales table are the dimension tables. Okay. So you should always make sure that you should reduce the model size. So by removing the unnecessary columns, by removing whatever not necessary for actual your business use case. You don't need to put everything, and you need to because you don't need to delete the data. So you are pulling everything. So that is not required, because and one more thing you need to note that Power BI, when you load the data in from the data source, Power BI automatically detects the relationship between the columns. Okay, and it automatically creates it. Okay, mostly you need to ensure that the relationship is proper and it is aligns with your actual use case. Okay, also it suppose if there are date columns in your data source, when we load the data in the Power BI, it actually creates as because of the auto date setting enabled, it automatically creates the date hierarchy. Okay, so after a few slides, I'll show you why date hierarchy is not much required, because date hierarchy will create it will create month, year, date. The hierarchy, it will create the hierarchy, year, month, day. For everything, it will create year, month, day. For each date, it will create year, month, day hierarchy. So that is not required. So we need to ensure that we need to make sure that we disable the auto date setting in Power BI. Okay. And next, if we consider if we get into more detail about the modeling, suppose I created I created the data and I have imported the data. So now I want to create visualization from that data. However, everything is not clear. So, but I have we need to write in some cases, we need to write DAX expressions, data analysis expressions. Okay. So here I have expressions like suppose I considered here, I want to calculate the blue revenue. Okay. So out of the total sales amount, I'm filtering the total sales amount with the product color as blue. So this is an example of how I will formulate my DAX expression. Okay. So here you need to understand, in order to understand any DAX expression, you need to understand how the syntax will actually look like. Microsoft have performed Microsoft actually in his Microsoft Docs, there are plenty of articles where you can find out more about the syntax and all. And once the syntax is clear, then you need to understand what function you write. So here the function is calculate. So once you have the syntax, function, you know the function, and then you need to write the context. Context is nothing but your actual data. Like here, the sales amount is the data, like, and the product color is the data. So you need to fill in those values. That's it. So your data analysis expression is okay. Now it is okay. So next thing you need to understand is what is row context and what is filter context. Okay, so row context is nothing but it is actually pre-computed before while you load the data. Okay, and filter context is whenever actually user performs some operation, the filter context will get changed. Like if you take example of the blue revenue, so whenever user performs any operation, the blue revenue value will be automatically changed because it is applying some filter context. Okay, so if you want to know more about how you write the DAX code, there is a link provided. I have a link provided there, daxguide.generate. And if you want to debug your DAX code, you can go to daxstudio.org. Okay. So once you have done your actual transformations, you have cleaned the data and you have modeled your data and you have performed all the transformations, then you need to create the visualization. Here I put a very simple visualization. So once here, if you see, there are many visualizations available here. You can just drag and drop this onto the canvas available here, and you can just fill in what the x-axis and y-axis could be, so that the visualization can be loaded. You can also put the respective filters if required. So there are many filters available. The filters are like, it can be on page level, on visual level, or it can be on all the pages in the report. Okay. Then next you need to once everything is done, you have created the visual. Even after you have created the visualization, and then your report is done. So you need to publish your report to Power BI. So that thing you can do with publishing the Power BI service. Okay. Once you click publish in the Power BI desktop, it will be published to Power BI service in few seconds. Then you need to create, while publishing to Power BI service, you need to select your workspace. Okay, where you want to deploy your Power BI report. So here are some more tools which you can use for your Power BI development. I have listed. You can take an note of them. So next thing is, once you have done everything, once you have cleaned the data, once you have modeled your data, once you have created the visualization, published to service, then the next thing comes is how you want to utilize that report, how you want to use that report. Like if you want to, either you can embed in some portal, either you can embed in some SharePoint, or you can embed in our Power Apps portal or Power Apps, whatever it may be. So for that, you need to understand how Power BI embed will actually work. So Power BI embed actually works for internal organization users. It actually works with Entra ID, Microsoft Entra ID, which is nothing but Azure AD. So Azure AD authentication will be done for any internal organization users. For any external organization, it should be authenticated separately. Like if you are deploying a report to an external facing website and our public website, then you need to handle your own authentication. If you are deploying to an internal website, like for internal users, then Microsoft Azure AD, like Entra ID, will be useful in that authentications. Okay, so here you can, with that thing, you can deploy your Power BI. You can embed your Power BI report in a custom app, or you can put in any SharePoint site or whatever it may be. Okay. So if I talk about the integration and extensibility with Power Apps, so these are the things which we can think of, which I can think of. So one is the Power BI embed reports with environment variables. In a while, I'll show you in my demo, and how we can embed the Power BI report in forms. there is one XRM toolbox tool where we can use that so that we can publish our reports. And in the Canvas app, how we can embed our Power BI tiles in the from the Power BI service. Okay, and also we have Power Apps visual for Power BI. Okay, now let's jump into my demo. See, I have already created a report. If I want to see this data source is very much like there are plenty of data sources you can connect to. Even though even if you have Excel, you will be able to connect to a Excel file. So I'll first show you how you can. What are the ways you can download Power BI Desktop and so you can go to Microsoft Store. So once you are in Microsoft Store website, you can search for Power BI. See, if you see here, Power BI Desktop app, Windows app is already installed in my machine. If you don't have that, you can install it right away. So I will just open it. So this is the easiest way where you don't need to click updates every time, because Power BI service, the Power BI team will release updates every month. So every month, in previously we used to download Power BI Desktop every month to get the latest update. But with the Windows App Store, if you download from this, we don't need to click on updates every time. It will be up to date because we are directly connected with Microsoft Store. So that is the main thing. So once I open this app, so I'll click on report. So this is the main landing page, how you get the report. Okay. So as I showed in my previous slides, in order to click your data, you need to click on get data. Okay. So there are many connectors. You can connect to Excel workbook, or you can connect to existing Power BI semantic model, which is nothing but existing model which is available in your Power BI service. So data flows I will not cover today. So Dataverse is nothing but you can connect to your Dataverse. Okay, you can also connect to your local SQL server. So and we have plenty of options you can select to select from, and you can also select on more to explore more of the options available. Okay, so there are plenty of data sources available where you can click to connect from. Okay. So currently I have an AdventureWorks database in my local machine in Excel file. So I'll be using that one. So I have an AdventureWorks database local. I can use it. So it actually connects to database and it lists down. It actually connects to local Excel and it lists down all the Excel worksheets which are available in that. So each will be considered as a table. So we'll select everything. So you can either load the data or you can perform the transformations. So let me click on transform data. So Power BI will actually pulls all the data from the data source, and it actually shows up in transformation window with Power Query editor window, where we can perform our respective transformations. Okay, so it shows for each table or each Excel sheet it loaded. So it will actually create a query. So you can see at the left it shows all the queries which are listed. So you can perform the different operations like suppose if you want to filter some data, you can do it right away here. You can remove empty tables. You can add some filters. You can sort the order of the ascending or descending. Okay, and you can choose your columns, what columns you want. Like suppose you don't want all the columns, then you can choose the respective columns from that particular Excel sheet. And you can keep that, suppose if you want only top 100 rows, you can put only top 100 rows. You can keep only the required number of rows and remove the other ones. Okay, suppose if you want to, once you have loaded the data, now you want to change the data type of that. Suppose there is a number and you want to, it is considered as a text and you want to change that data type of the table, then you can click here and change the data type of that particular thing. Okay. Here, once you have loaded the data, and if you want to combine two tables, you want to merge two queries. I showed you right. The left we have my multiple queries here. If you want to combine two tables, if you want to combine two queries, like if you want to combine customer and sales table, like in those cases, we click on merge queries. So merge queries, we can either select merge queries or merge queries as new. So it will actually shows a other screen where you need, this is the reseller is the first table and you need to select the next table. Suppose if I take a different table, so then you need to, suppose based on your requirement, if there is a relationship between these two tables, you need to select what kind of relationship it actually contains between these two tables. Then you need to set accordingly. Here you can see if you will have the option to select a different relationship types, like you can have a right outer join, left outer join, inner, whatever it may be. So based on the thing actually required, so you actually select the relationship. So this is actually what I mean by saying cardinality. Cardinality is nothing but the uh, relationship between the two tables, how they are related, either it is many to many or what kind of thing. So based on your relationship, what you're going to create here, just the cardinality matters. Okay. Okay, and what else I can show you here? Okay, so that's it. I have actually loaded all the data. So I'll close and I click on close and apply. So then it loads all the data into your model. So model data can be found at the rightmost side where you can see under data, your model will be loaded. You see your model is loaded. Okay, and then you can perform your respective operations. Like you can create a visualization as and when required. You can select your respective visualization. Suppose if you want a bar chart, you can pull a bar chart, and if you whatever table you want, you can pull it accordingly. Suppose I want to know how much is the sales in a particular city, then I will get it. Don't click. See, I have already created some visualizations for you so that in order to save our time, let me open that. See, I created some visualization for this, where I selected the respective visualization and respected the same for the same data. I have just pulled from the Excel source. I have created an already a report previously this morning. So this is how it looks like. And once you have done everything and visualization is also performed completed, then you need to actually publish the data to service. Okay. So this is where you create a measures and calculated columns you can create from here. You can click on three dots. Like suppose if you want to create a measure for this table like product, then you can click here. You can create a new measure. Okay, so this is new measure, and you can also create new column. New column is nothing but a calculated column. So the columns which came from data source is normal columns. The columns which you create from here, they are called as calculated columns. Okay, and if you want to edit your relationship, and if you want to manage any relationships, that you can do it here. Okay, so once everything is done, then you need to publish your report to Power BI service. Okay, this is where you can click on publish. So once you click on publish, it will ask whether it is asking me to save your changes. Okay. See, since I have performed some operations and I didn't save your queries, it is asking me to save my queries. Click on later. See, then it is asking it because I'm actually already logged in with my user account. See, with my user account, I should have an Power BI service. I have a license. So once my license is authentic, once I'm authenticated, it will show all my workspaces available. See here, I have these are all these workspaces. I can click on this respective workspace. And I can select that workspace. See, I already have a report and a data set which is already existing in my workspace. So I'll just click on publish. I'll click on replace. So this is going to actually replace my existing report which I have already published. Now let's go to Power BI service and see how our report is actually looking like in Power BI service. I'll just log in with. I just Googled it as Power BI login. I got the first one and I'm just logged in with my user account, which I have. Okay, so here, if you see, as this morning, Zara and Zenobia has told about how Microsoft Fabric and whatever the details about it. So Power BI is actually part of Microsoft Fabric. So it is tightly integrated. So here also you can find it in when I open Power BI portal. So it also shows all these things. So actually these Power BI is actually part of the Fabric. So it is a visualization tool for all your Fabric entire family. So so everything I will not get into those details. So you can click on workspace. Now I have published a workspace, so I'll just open that workspace. So yeah, I have published this report, Adventure Works. Okay, so here when you publish a report, it actually creates a semantic model. Semantic model is nothing but the model for your data. Okay, so and it actually publishes a semantic model and a report, a Power BI report. Okay. So if you want to see any embedding capabilities, you can click on here. You can always click on explore this data, which is in preview, which will open a window, and you can explore from there. Okay, because we have already developed the report and we have our visualization, everything is in order. So we'll just close this. So if you are building an report out of your existing semantic model, then you need to click there, so that you don't need to go again to Power BI Desktop and build that again. Yeah, because that is in preview. So that is yet to in preview. So okay, you can always analyze in Excel. Okay, if you want to generate quick insights, you can there click quick there. Okay, let me open. You can find all the details there, and so this is my report which I just published. Okay, to Power BI service. This is how it looks like. Okay. So here you have options like you can download this report. Okay, you can manage permissions for this report. And here is where I told you about how you can embed your report. You can either embed in SharePoint Online, you can embed in any portal, any website, or you can embed in Power Apps or whatever it may be. So, and you can also have, and you can publish the report directly to the website, so that if you don't need, if users don't need any authentication to view this report data, then you can publish to a website. But that publish to web should be enabled at organization level, so that everyone cannot simply publish your report to web. So that's how it is. And we can also have the developer playground. Suppose if you want to embed this report and you want to work on it, then you can work on the developer playground, where you can play with the Power BI REST APIs and you can try it out there. So this is how the Power BI REST API looks like, where you can interact with Power BI REST APIs with the code. Okay, suppose how this is my report. I can add additional filters here. Without modifying the report or anything, I can just play around with this different features available. I can put some additional filters, how it look like. I can change the layout here without changing my actual Power BI report model and all. So, and if you want to add some additional information, everything, you can try it out here. You can change, you can add some refresh frequency, or you can click on run report, so that your actual code which you have inserted will actually get run, and it will actually render the report result. Okay, so that is the Power BI embedded playground. Okay, so I have covered, I think, everything here. So all the filters which you have applied, the page level or visual level, will be displayed here. Okay, so and suppose if you want to get any alert, like if there is some limit which suppose you have set some threshold, and if an alert has been triggered, then you can set this alert here. Okay, so that means from your statistics, if some numbers have been below some numbers, then you can set some alert, so that if the unit price in particular area has been less than some particular number, so then an alert will be triggered to your particular email address. So like that, you can set some alerts. Okay. Now I will show you. So that is the Power BI report capability, and I will show how we can. This is the Power BI semantic model, which is nothing but the data model of the report which we have just published. Okay. So in this model, you can if you want to refresh the model, you can click here, refresh now. If you want to schedule a refresh, you can also schedule a refresh, like down the day, like in a day, you want to set up a refresh, like morning once, afternoon once, evening once, then you can set up a refresh schedule. So for this Power BI semantic model, for your model, you can set refresh frequency. So if I just scroll down here, if you see, I don't have any gateways. I don't need to modify the data source credentials. Okay. So here, if you see refresh, my refresh has been turned on, but here you'll set up the refresh schedule. Okay, this is where you'll set up the refresh schedule. Okay, I think okay, now let's see how we can embed our. And now we have developed a report. I showed you how the report looked like, how the Power BI semantic model, how we can set up the refresh frequency, everything. Now let's embed the Power BI report in, let's say, model driven app. Next, we'll see how we can embed the Power BI report in Canvas app. The first thing we'll see how we can embed this report in model driven app. How you can create this report in a solution and move from one environment to another environment. See, we have workspaces, like for development, we have one workspace, and testing one workspace, and production one workspace. That means different versions, different environments can contain different versions of Power BI. Same report for different environments, we can maintain different versions of Power BI report. So those reports, those particular versions, we can tag it to our respect to CRM environment, like Power Platform environment. Like in UAT, it will point to UAT workspace report. In development, it will point to development workspace and Power BI report. So that's where we can configure environment variable to hold that information. Okay. So in order to do that, I will quickly go through make.power apps. I'll go to solutions. Okay. Let me create a new solution. I'll create a publisher. See here, I just click on new. I want to create a new report, which is embedded in my solution. So where I can move from one environment to another. Okay, so when you click on dashboard, you see Power BI embedded. Okay. So once you click on Power BI embedded, so then you have an option to create a report name. You can then choose your choose the respective environment. Okay, so you can choose a respective workspace from which you want to load the Power BI report. Okay, you can directly choose an environment or from the workspace. In order to use in order for the one environment use one Power BI report. Okay, so we need to select environment, use environment variable. Okay, so since I don't have an environment variable, I have existing one. Now I want to create a new environment variable so that I can show you. So for this, for each Power BI report, you need to have a different environment variable. Okay. So for each Power BI report, you need to have one specific environment variable. So for this report, I will select what is the default workspace. Like in your development environment, the default workspace will point to a development environment. Okay. Suppose if you deployed the whole solution to a next environment, then your default solution will keep as it is, but you will change the current workspace value. Okay. So you have two options called the default workspace. So in my default environment, I will select the workspace as default workspace. I will select the respective AdventureWorks Power BI report. So from this default workspace, it loads all the Power BI reports. So here I will select the AdventureWorks data Power BI report. So we have set the default value. Now we also need to set the current value. Okay. So the current value is the one which says that for this environment, what is its current value? Okay. Suppose when you are deploying this Power BI report to another environment, you don't need to set environment variable for current value for the first time. Okay. Then you need to click on save. Okay. Once your report is saved, you need to export the solution and import the higher environment. Like suppose you want to deploy to other environment, then you open there and you publish this same solution there. I already imported the solution so that I to keep the time in mind. So because we have 15 minutes, I think we are almost in time. Yeah. So here I have already deployed that thing. So here in my environment variable, I will open environment variable here, and I'll just select the value here. Okay. So here I'll just change the value. So that it will reflect the value from this environment workspace. Okay, that is how you will deploy your Power BI reports in a model-driven app. Okay. Similarly, if I want to have this thing in my Canvas app, I'll show how we can have this in Canvas app. In 5 minutes, I will wrap up. Okay. Okay, I think it is not saved. So I actually inserted like embedded that report which we have in Power BI service inside the Canvas app. So how you can do that? You can just click on insert, and you can search for Power BI tile. So you have option called Power BI tile here. Okay. So once you insert the Power BI tile, all the report which you have published in Power BI service will be embedded inside the Canvas app here. Okay. So, and if you want to observe this thing, there is something called the data. If you want to see it actually, we need to select the workspace. We need to select the dashboard, which dashboard we want, and we can select the tile. Okay, the tile which we have published in workspace. So once you're done, your data will be refreshed, and your data will be there in your Canvas app. So everything, all the filters will be work as it is, and you can see inside the Canvas app. Yeah, I think that's it for what I want to show you. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me on my any handles, or if you have any questions now, you can ask me now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bhuvan. And yeah, Pawan, wait, huh? This is a small token from us to you. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so next actually we are going to close. So the notes actually we present people for any of you guys knows who is Amanda. Amanda is the GTM.
My gosh. Hello, everyone. I'm not gonna present. I know you've been info overloaded with all the information today, so I'm not going to present. I just want to show you guys. Have you seen the Super Bowl commercial of Microsoft? Did you guys see it? No? Amazing. So I'll show it. I'm Amanda. I'm the Power Platform go-to-market lead for ASEAN. So I've been working with Goloknas and the other MVPs for I think 2 years in a row. And you know what? I'm very happy to see you guys because Microsoft pays me to do my job and I love my job. But you guys really took the time off the day to spend time here and learn about Power Platform. And what I can honestly say is that you are not wasting your time. So here in Microsoft, what we are doing is that we are really investing in terms of making Power Platform better. The Power Platform that you know, like probably 2, 3 months back, is very different from the Power Platform that is available now, right? That we are rolling out now. So before that, I wanted to show you this. Hopefully it works. It's not showing.
Yeah, you have to present. Actually, you have to join Teams.
I have to join the call.
Yeah.
Okay.
You join the Teams. So join the Teams. I think the invite out.
I think it's here. No, it's not that one. There you go.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Should be June audio 11:05. Right. Guys, can you hear us? Can you hear us? Can you guys hear us? Great. Can you guys hear us? Those who are joining on the call. You guys hear or no? Have an internet? I don't think it would work because of like technicalities, but yeah, essentially what we just want to say is that we do have a Power App program for those who are not familiar. I know that you guys are Right. I know that you guys. What is it? Hello? All right, perfect. So I know that you guys are experts in Power Platform, but the idea really is to not end your knowledge here or to just share it with like your co MVP members. What we want to encourage you is to really share it with more and more and more people. So yeah, like what I mentioned earlier, you can go ahead and check out Power Up, that it's up.microsoft.com, and there you can be a volunteer, you can share what you know, you can teach students, or there are also like old people there, those who have retired already and they want to change their career or try out something new. So again, just want to encourage you to not keep your knowledge within just the group, because we really know that the future will be low code. So now we'll be sharing the message from Charles Samana, our CVP. I think all of you guys know Charles Samana. Development. Right. Okay. Yep. It's just allowed. Yeah. Okay. Right.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda, for this keynote of Charles. I think, yeah, we are almost, we finished all our session, but we just want to discuss few questions. I'll ask few questions and I have some ways to give away. So everyone here can answer the questions.
Amazing.
So in that one, maybe, what are the suite of the products actually in Power Platform? Can anybody answer? What are the list of the products? I'm not going to ask any tough
That's
questions.
super easy for
It's a super easy questions.
my
I'll pick randomly maybe.
here. Raise the
First,
hand.
okay.
Power apps, Power BI, pages,
Mhm.
all budget getting.
Oh,
Then
what's the new name?
another one missing.
Last one.
Anyone can answer everything I said?
Oh, there you go.
Power,
Yes, okay. Maybe you can.
Virtual agent and now.
Thank you. Okay, so maybe next question, actually, what are the two suites of high level products are there within Power Apps? You know, in Power Apps, we can do X app, Y app. What are those apps? I'm pinpointing the points actually. Power Apps, what are the different types of apps you can build?
Starts with the C and the M.
Power Pages, more driven app, and Canvas
I'm
app.
not saying about Power Pages. Power Pages is always a product it came out. So you cannot consider that as part of Power Apps.
The model driven app and Canvas.
Okay, good. Okay, maybe you pass one to you, right? So next, what is the work? Okay, now we triggered one question. Power Pages. What is the difference between Power Pages and Power Apps? Anybody can answer. Layman term also is absolutely fine. Whoever got our, I'm not going to ask them questions. Any new guys? Notes, maybe, sir?
One for the website and the other one for the apps. Power pages.
Okay, the element term of, yes, we can say it's for external, it's for internal.
Okay, let's explain more to the audience. What is the difference?
Yeah, I think, see, we want to go for, we have snacks break also there outside. So we want to finish it up. So anybody has any question, definitely they can reach out to me and ask me who are there.
Good. I can give like a 10-second answer on the difference of pages.
Okay, sure.
So Power Pages is meant to build websites,
Yes,
right? And Power Apps is meant to build apps. So essentially, when we talk about Power Apps, we don't talk about like the apps that we use in our phone. We talk about mostly internal apps for your employees, for the team, for IT, whoever, right? But when we talk about Power Pages, this is external facing. So if you have like third party people that you would like to log into the app that you built, you use Power Pages for that because it can be authenticated. Right.
One more question about that. I think, for the Power Apps, it is Canvas app, we can also allow external people to access the Power Apps.
As long as they have license.
Yeah,
Yeah.
external users can also log into the Power
Yep.
Apps.
They can,
Yep.
they can, they can.
and, but as Amanda mentioned, right, the single step driving also serve what told, internal, external. As a layman terminology, that's the high level anyone can understand. So, yeah, next question, what is the use of Power BI? Anyone can read the name, I think last. Maybe, first, data visualization, only visualization. Or reporting analytics. Okay, so then now I will ask little bit in inner question if anybody has space to. If I want to develop one mobile app, native mobile app, either it is iOS or Android app, which tool I will use? Power Apps, Power Automate, means app development. in development of the app, native app, which app I will use? Power Apps, Automate, Power Virtual Agent, Power BI, which will I will use? This question is not important. You should not tell. Now, I'll leave it. Next question. Next question, actually, yeah, Power Apps has actually wrap. One feature is there. Using the wrap, you can build native apps. Okay, that's within Power Apps. So, any question, Asifa, you want to ask? Simple question. Yeah.
Understanding the Power Apps services or for which certification you will.
Basic certification. I think let's make it clear. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Covered in my section.
Yes.
PL.
PEL.
PL.
Yeah. No, but still you can give. PEL actually 900. Actually.
Oh,
Yeah. Okay. So how many left, sir? How many? Is there? Okay. Fine. Then in that note, okay. Now we discussed about Power Apps and other things. So now we understand actually Power Platform also having Power Automate. What are the high level Power Automate different two categories? We can make different types of flows. Anyone knows? Power Automate flows.
Workflows.
Sorry.
Workflow.
But high level, what are the different types? Two types actually. Okay, if nobody knows, I can give the answer. You will learning also. It's a cloud flows and desktop flows. Two types of flows you can make. Okay. So cloud flow is in cloud and desktop, it's existing applications in automated and whatever you desktop application.
You can explain because a lot of users doesn't know.
Yeah.
The desktop is those are like RPA.
Yeah, it's architect.
It's a RPA like any other robotic process automation.
Like GUI path and other things are there, right? So desktop flow is, if you can say, replacement of that. That's a desktop flow. Whereas cloud flow is, it's additional enablement. Your orchestration capability, if you know other UI part and other things also, because I know UI part, that's why I'm saying this. Orchestration, those capabilities is all about your cloud flows and all those capabilities, but along with some more enablement. That's what is all about your cloud tools. Okay. So what next?
Question, Gulab,
Yeah, sure.
on what I mentioned earlier, what was the website or the aka.ms that you guys need to go to if you want to volunteer?
Yeah.
Or
I told you should not answer this. Guys, already we got. So I don't want to touch them.
How many types of licenses in models in Power Apps?
Wow.
It takes too complicated, right?
Wow.
So it's fine.
What type of environments you can create in Power Apps?
I think that's what. Okay, let's make it very simple. We did not touch Power Virtual Agent, right? Yeah.
It's
What
like
is
Copilot
what is
Studio.
the, yeah, you asked the, answer the question.
What is it?
I supposed to ask actually what is the new name?
No, it's not part of virtual agent then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Copilot.
so if you want to build any generative bot, what platform you will use? I think already you have answers. Anyone can raise. Is it Copilot?
Copilot one.
Copilots, but anyway, it's fine. It's near about. It's PVA, Power Virtual Agents unit as image, our Copilot Studio. We use actually to create the bot. I think,
For those who doesn't have yet.
yeah, 1, 2, 3, sir.
What is your best learning for the day?
Base learning from today. Okay, I'll ask one random question. Whatever extra thing you learn for the day, this is, anybody can raise the hand who has not got any English. Can answer.
The website that's mentioned Microsoft ISP for the customer.
ESI.
Yes.
Okay, maybe faster. Okay. So now we understand Power App, Power Automate, Power Virtual Agent, Power BI, and Power Pages. So in that note, what is Power platform, what is the platform layer? What we are using actually? I think we did not discuss, right? Dataverse might be discussed. No.
Or what's the difference of Dataverse and SharePoint? You guys know?
I think it's
Complex? Okay. Then maybe we can discuss that as a topic.
okay. So maybe, okay, I'll put another way because later we want to give the gifts. Okay. So I'm trying to make it very simple. So, okay, whatever in your organization, have you ever tried Power Platform components? And what are those components or use cases? Maybe you want to give one example. If any of you used ever Power Platform to build something, a small thing maybe, any app, any chatbot or anything you guys use, Power BI reports or anything?
Not in the current company, but previous company, we have how automate and automate the email to send the email when there's a new data. That's and then the user will then use our
Power
Power BI to look at the new.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, Power Automate you can use. Automate you use. I think last one, I think last questions we have.
Curious on the Power Platform, are they mainly cloud-based or can
Cloud-based.
the collaboration can it be done offline?
It is cloud-based.
Okay,
In
Azure, so it's Azure is the one that.
Azure is the one. But in government ecosystem, if you are saying in that context, we have Go Local. Go Local, you can go with context and licensing, other things.
But let's say I'm not in my office, I can always just use like a tunneling, like VPN.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, even in government ecosystem, I don't think it is allowed, as long as it's Go Local, it is there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so VPN is not allowed, isn't it? But VPN.
Are we talking about the context of Go Local or just I?
Just trying, you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, if I'm remote and I'm not within my.
Yeah, in that way, I think.
Like, that's not the license actually, no issue, right?
Yeah.
You also get.
Get access and-
Everyone can okay, that makes sense.
You can access, but you cannot use in your production environment. You can play,
Okay.
no issues, because it's over internet as mentioned. But you cannot use production environment because of so on.
Figure like UAT or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, I think last question. Yes, sir.
Okay, the Power Apps is licensing is part of the Microsoft Enterprise license, so right?
Hmm.
So if we have a subsidiary that want to have used this, but our head skill is using another product. So can this subsidiary buy themselves?
Yeah. So, contract is very different from license purchase. So for example, any of you guys can actually purchase license, even just one license for Power Apps. You can start doing that. But if we are talking about like being under the contract, the EA construct of the HQ, that's a different discussion. Like you have a minimum threshold to be part of the discounting and all the contractualization.
Oh.
But if we are just talking about license, you purchasing it, you can do it.
Oh, okay, so mean that my subsidiary can buy 3 or 4 licenses just for their own stuff, for sharing the output, right?
Well, you're not supposed to share licenses. It's
Yeah,
something
I'm not saying the
like-
license, it's like sharing the output of the.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, so it's possible.
Okay, I think sir asked questions and has interested. That's all. Yeah.
I think it's already. I got to.
Oh, already got it. Maybe you pass. Okay. Okay, thank you so much and
Lots of muffins outside.
thanks for joining
Thank you
on the
for
session.
joining.
Thank you.
As long as it's not in here. Yeah. Oh, where's the value?
Yeah. Yeah. Some of them you can go them to like. You get all the. I can just return something, but what I did was I also yeah.
Okay, thank you everyone, those who are online, and thanks for joining.